The Indiana Fever fans were chanting, "Sophie, Sophie."
In a game overflowing with chaos, whistles swallowed, and Caitlin Clark getting hacked with zero protection, Fever fans weren't just angry, they were begging, chanting one name like a battle cry. Sophie, Sophie. And when nobody else stepped up, Sophie Cunningham did. She didn't just commit a hard foul, she sent a message to the entire league. In that moment, she didn't just defend Caitlin Clark, she ignited a fire. And now, that fire might make her a millionaire.
That's a flagrant foul. It's a hard foul. You could say it's a play on the ball, but...
The recent game between the Indiana Fever and the Connecticut Sun has sparked outrage among WNBA fans, with many calling it a prime example of overly aggressive play and lax officiating. The controversy centers around two specific incidents involving Fever rookie Caitlin Clark. First, J.C. Sheldon of the Sun was accused of making contact with Caitlin Clark's face, an act that many viewers condemned as intentionally malicious given Clark's prominent status as the face of the league. While the exact nature of the contact is debated, the perception of a deliberate shot at a star player has fueled significant fan anger. Adding to the uproar, Sun guard Marina Mabrey delivered a forceful body check that sent Clark to the court. Critics quickly likened the play to a move seen in professional wrestling, WWE, arguing it far exceeded the bounds of legitimate basketball contact. This incident in particular has led to accusations of a hit job against Clark, suggesting a coordinated effort to physically intimidate her. A major point of contention for fans was the officials' perceived inaction. Despite the physicality and the severity of the incidents, many felt the referees treated them as routine plays, failing to issue appropriate penalties or send a clear message that such aggression was unacceptable. This lack of intervention has left many fans begging for anyone, to step up and enforce the rules more stringently, leading to concerns about player safety and the integrity of the game.
There's a lot of contact here.
Oh, and Marina Mabrey's going to get ejected. If the officials saw that, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected.
Out of the ashes of a dumpster fire of officiating, a star was born, but not the kind anyone expected. Sophie Cunningham, the fiery veteran with a black belt in Taekwondo and a chip on her shoulder, emerged as the last person standing between Caitlin Clark and total chaos. The Fever were up big. The win was locked. But the moment, the message, that was still missing. Then, Sophie delivered it loud and clear. With less than 2 minutes left and emotions boiling over, Cunningham dropped J.C. Sheldon with a punishing textbook hard foul. The kind that echoes. The kind that makes fans jump out of their seats. And right after, she squared up like she'd been training for this moment her entire life. Because, in many ways, she had. This wasn't a scuffle. It was a statement. It was cathartic. Not just for Fever fans, but for everyone who'd watched Caitlin Clark get slapped, hacked, shoved, and cheap-shotted for weeks and get no real protection from anyone wearing stripes. Sophie didn't just foul Sheldon. She lit a fuse. That play was months of anger, disrespect, and unresolved retaliation finally erupting in one controlled explosion of purpose. This wasn't just about one play. This was about Angel Reese throwing a blindside shoulder. It was Chennedy Carter decking Clark in the back. It was Marina Mabrey body checking her to the floor. It was J.C. Sheldon swiping her in the eye like it was nothing. And the refs letting it all happen. Every missed whistle, every smirk, every double standard. It all led to this moment. Sophie wasn't just sending a message to J.C. Sheldon. She was sending a message to every player, coach, official, and executive in the WNBA. Don't mess with Caitlin Clark. We're done being quiet. You want to play rough? We can play rougher. And the craziest part, she didn't say a word. She just stood her ground, and in doing so, became a hero. Within 48 hours of the contentious game, the clips of Sophie Cunningham's hard foul on J.C. Sheldon and her subsequent ejection went absolutely viral. This wasn't just confined to WNBA fan circles. It exploded across the wider sports landscape. Sophie Cunningham's TikTok follower count skyrocketed by hundreds of thousands. Reports indicate she gained over 600,000 followers on TikTok alone, pushing her close to the million follower mark. Her existing videos and any new content were seeing millions of views, far exceeding her previous engagement. This platform, known for quick, shareable content, was the perfect vehicle for the enforcer narrative to spread. Even major NBA-focused social media accounts, which rarely dedicate significant attention to individual WNBA players outside of superstar highlights, were tweeting and discussing the incident. This crossover appeal demonstrated the widespread impact of the moment, drawing in a massive audience who might not typically follow the WNBA closely. The ultimate sign of mainstream sports attention, ESPN, was sending push notifications about the incident. This meant that millions of sports fans, regardless of their usual league preferences, were being alerted to the unfolding drama, further amplifying the story. The clips were ubiquitous, appearing on sports news segments, highlight reels, and countless fan-made edits across every platform imaginable. Beyond the digital virality, the Sophie effect translated directly into tangible market success. Almost immediately, Sophie Cunningham's Indiana Fever jersey became a coveted item. Fans who might not have even known her name a week prior were suddenly clamoring to buy her merch. This surge in demand was so overwhelming that her jersey sold out completely on official team and league merchandise sites like Fanatics within hours. This unprecedented demand for a player, particularly one who isn't a top scorer or a rookie sensation, underscored the emotional connection fans were making with her actions. While her career average of 7.7 points per game made her a relatively unsung player before this, her tough team player image and perceived loyalty resonated deeply. What many critics fundamentally failed to grasp about the colossal phenomenon of Caitlin Clark's fan base isn't just their devotion to Caitlin herself. It's their profound, unwavering loyalty to anyone who unequivocally has her back. This isn't merely about on-court performance. It's about perceived allegiance and protection. Consider the compelling case of Kate Martin, a second-round pick, who, in her rookie season, averaged less than 3 points per game. Yet, remarkably, she soared past the reigning league MVP in jersey sales. Why? The reason is simple, yet powerful. She was Caitlin's beloved teammate at Iowa, a consistent presence, a familiar face of support. Her mere association and history of loyalty were enough to ignite a massive wave of fan endorsement. Now, imagine the seismic impact when someone doesn't just share a locker room or a past with Caitlin Clark, but literally puts their body on the line, sacrificing personal gain to protect her on national television. Sophie Cunningham's actions transcended the realm of typical teammate support. She didn't just play with Caitlin. She fought for her in the most visceral sense, when many felt no one else was. This wasn't just a moment of winning over new fans for Sophie. It was a moment of forging an unbreakable bond, earning their loyalty for life. In the fiercely personal narrative that surrounds Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham emerged as the ultimate embodiment of loyalty and courage, solidifying her place as a permanent icon within the most passionate fan base in sports. Sophie Cunningham has long been recognized for her engaging personality and natural comfort in front of the camera. Her previous role as a TV analyst for the Phoenix Suns pregame, halftime, and postgame coverage wasn't just a side gig. She was genuinely killing it. This experience honed her ability to connect with an audience, articulate her thoughts, and project confidence, qualities that made her post-incident visibility even more impactful. She understands media, and she understands how to leverage a moment. Think about it. If this was LeBron in the NBA, if someone poked him in the eye and then body checked him to the ground, do you really think the league would just hand out technical fouls? There's no way that would happen without consequences. Caitlin Clark is arguably more important to the WNBA right now than LeBron is to the NBA. When she missed 5 games, ratings cratered by over 50%, with nationally televised WNBA games down 55% and Fever national TV games down 53%, according to recent reports. She's literally the difference between the league thriving and just surviving. This wasn't just a foul. It was a line in the sand. Sophie didn't just protect Caitlin Clark. She stood up for every star the league has ever failed to protect. She stood up for fairness, for respect, and for the soul of the game. And in doing so, she became more than a player. She became a symbol. The WNBA didn't make her a star. The fans did. And that, more than anything, is the real power of this moment. Sophie Cunningham didn't just step onto the court. She stepped directly into the eye of a perfect storm, a confluence of factors that created an unparalleled opportunity. On one side, a massive, fiercely loyal fan base, galvanized by their beloved star and utterly desperate for someone to defend her from the relentless physical targeting and what they perceived as biased officiating. On the other, a seasoned veteran player with the intrinsic personality, media savvy, and on-court toughness to meet that moment head on. This wasn't merely about basketball. It was a profound cultural moment in a rapidly evolving sports landscape where authenticity and standing up for what's right resonate deeply with audiences. Sophie Cunningham instinctively understood that her actions weren't just morally compelling. They were impeccable business. The woman who didn't just get the assignment, but owned it, is now poised to cash in big time. Not just in jersey sales, but in long-term brand power and influence. She's opened doors to unprecedented endorsement deals, expanded media opportunities, and cemented her legacy far beyond the box score. Because in a league that has undeniably turned personal, a raw battle pitting passionate fans against perceived establishment inaction and Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise against entrenched skepticism and aggressive play, Sophie Cunningham didn't just choose a side. She unequivocally picked the winning side, becoming the unexpected hero who embodied the protective spirit the WNBA's new generation of fans craved. Her actions transcended the game, solidifying her as a powerful voice and an undeniable force in the league's burgeoning narrative. So, what's next? Sophie's already fielding calls from agents and sponsors. Her social media is exploding. Her jersey sales are through the roof. And most importantly, she's changed the entire tone of the Fever season. This isn't just about one hard foul anymore. This is about what happens when someone finally says enough is enough and backs it up with action. If you believe that standing up for your teammates matters, drop a boxing glove in the comments and join the movement. And if you believe the WNBA needs more players like Sophie, hit the sub button. At the end of the day, people vote with their wallets and their attention. And right now, they're voting for Sophie Cunningham in a big way. The enforcer era has officially begun.